Okay. This is weird. This is Houston Wrestling Radio episode number 249. I am Chris. Apparently, I'm the host this week. Not your traditional format. We survived Hurricane Harvey for the most part. Abel and Arnold had family duties to take care of, so they weren't able to do it tonight. I kind of figured, being in person for the 9/11 SmackDown here at home at Compact Center, the show must go on. I felt kind of a little bit of an obligation, to some people that might listen to this show. It's their normalcy. It's part of the week. It makes them feel like they're back at home. So I kind of felt like it would be a disservice to not do an episode this week. Obviously, I couldn't do it alone, so apparently an old friend decided to cash in their Money in the Bank briefcase tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Travis! Ah!
I'm back!
Yes! I agree! Yes!
Feels weird. Feels weird being back.
Got a couple more cobwebs there.
Oh,
there
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. My man, Travis!
Hello, everyone.
What's up, man?
Yeah. Same old. It's Texas, so there's another hurricane. And
the hurricane.
Yeah. So we made it out okay for the most part. Yeah,
I'm looking around. I see the fault line to where all the debris floated up to the back of your patio.
Yeah, it got kind of close, but made it through okay. I'm still dry. So
yeah, a couple of days off from work.
Yeah. Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. What day is this?
Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. Yeah.
At work today, a dude was waiting for the doors to open because my branch that I work at right now is at the Galleria Mall, like inside the mall. Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, the news said they were going to be open today on Thursday." And he's like, "Dude," I had to tell him, I was like, "Hey, today's Wednesday." He literally forgot a day. I mean, I guess that's what happens with cabin fever.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I sure shit was forgetting what day it was more than once. Sitting in my house, me and my wife going crazy.
It looked like infinite darkness for at least 2 days.
Yeah, it got to the point where I was getting nauseated by listening to the sound of rain, like nonstop, 24 hours of rain. It was driving me crazy.
It's funny because for me, to get a good night's sleep, if it's raining outside, like I'll crack the window just a smidge so I can hear it, because I'm too cheap to buy that little water fountain that you put inside of your bed. Yeah. But man, after all this, like. I marked a lot of things off of my list. Like, I don't need to get a fountain to sleep. I don't need to visit the wild Amazonian rainforest because we got 3 days worth of fucking rain. I don't need to visit Venice anymore because I damn near swam through some of the streets just to make sure that I had enough hot Cheetos to survive all
I was even questioning you meeting up with me because, hell, the roads are still wishy-washy, sort of.
Dude, there is no Theon Greyjoy here. I have balls the size of bowling balls, man. I'm the vagabond of the group. You know damn well. There's anybody behind the wheel that's willing to drive anywhere. It's this guy.
I said, does Hot Wheels float?
It would if my fat ass wasn't in it. Nevertheless.
Yeah, you made it here. We're here. We're doing this thing.
Yeah.
And why are you doing it like this? Is there?
So yeah, we're in La Cocina Studios. We're doing a podcast only tonight. Well, you'll be able to see it on YouTube or hear it on YouTube.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, with the hurricane going on, you might have a little audio fever. Yeah. You might need something different to listen to. You
may not have access to YouTube.
Yeah. So if anybody that's already subscribed to our iTunes page, if we still have any of those left,
there is an iTunes page, right?
Yeah, we do have. We do have a place on iTunes that has some old classic episodes.
By default.
Yeah, by default, right? You'll actually find last week's episode where Abel, Arnold, and I recapped my weekend in Brooklyn, aka TakeOver, SummerSlam, and then came home for Raw and SmackDown, and a bunch of other shit. So that's on there. Hopefully before tonight's over, this episode will also be on there for you to listen to. And we'll have it on YouTube in case you're busy mopping up the floors or throwing out or donating or getting stuff done around the house.
Even though it's audio only, I'll get this on YouTube some way, somehow. Pretty soon.
And hopefully next week, unless we have another tropical storm, Hurricane Irma, because we got that one coming around the corner, and then they're alphabetical. So J, the next one, tropical storm, just get the fuck away from Texas, basically. Hopefully next week we'll go back to the 3 wetbacks at the apartment.
Yeah.
But tonight we're back. Old familiar ceilings in Racosina.
Yeah.
Familiar smells, country scent, whatever that is. Killing the ants out here.
Right.
So yeah, man. And obviously, I guess even though people can't see it on the podcast because we're doing audio, I'm gonna extend the hand, brother. Oh,
we did the Mega Powers handshake. I don't know why, but yeah, we did it.
Thanks for answering the flare.
Oh, yeah.
Showing up tonight from your busy schedule of binging the Defenders and playing Clue and.
Don't be knocking Clue, man. Shit.
I have Simpsons Clue.
Hey, dude.
I just don't have friends to play it.
No, hey, when you're 3 days locked in, tired of watching binging on shows, you're gonna find shit to do.
Yeah. So, if I were to ask you, what was the biggest event in sports and entertainment within the last week to happen?
Oh, okay.
What would it be?
I was gonna say the biggest event would be Hurricane Harvey.
Well, it was entertaining to several, but
well, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
But in sports and or entertainment, I believe there was a fight this past weekend. Was there not?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm losing track of my days. I still need to. We passed up that weekend, right? So
yeah.
Yes, there was the big circus event that was. Mayweather and McGregor.
Yes.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
I watched clips of it on YouTube. There was like a 30-minute. Someone compiled like 30 minutes of every round, like a few clips from every round into it, and
that was a interesting fight. You got the racist in McGregor against the wife beater in Mayweather.
Allegedly?
Like, everybody had a stake in this. You either wanted somebody to knock the hell out of McGregor or somebody to knock the hell out of Mayweather.
Yeah. Did you have any say so in this match?
Oh hell no! Not when I know a hurricane's about to possibly take anything I have that I own. So yeah, I couldn't tie up any fun.
I didn't place any bets or anything.
I'll mention that in a second. This was actually an interesting fight. Like, $100? Hell no.
No, fuck no.
I might have paid $50 for this.
But that's in hindsight, though.
In hindsight, yeah, because
but not knowing
Mayweather, to his credit, he's probably one of the best defensive boxers this generation's ever seen.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
You know, Rocky Marciano, he is not, but he's a badass defensive boxer. That being said, you've invested enough money in watching a lot of Mayweather matches. His fight style is kind of boring.
Yeah.
You know, George St. Pierre in Ultimate Fighter, all he does is take you to the ground and smother you for 5 minutes every round until he wins by decision.
But it works.
But it works because people want to see him get beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
So his plan was actually genius, but it was risky as fuck.
Yeah.
McGregor early in the first round landed a sweet flush uppercut on Mayweather.
Yeah, that was good.
And I was like, this is not what I was expecting. It's what I wanted. It just wasn't what I was expecting realistically.
Now, and I did see, and I was. So you know what? I'm gonna say this. Just I'll be a gentleman about it. Spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen it. All right, so I got that out of the way. All right, so I was pleasantly surprised actually, that it went 10 rounds, because in a to quote Bill Burr here, a spectacle. You expect a flash, you know, like just a quick hit down.
A Rousey match, basically.
Yeah, less than 30 seconds, and you just spend $100, right? Yeah. I was not expecting 10 rounds. Now, I don't know. Yeah, devil's advocate, conspiracy theorist, whatever. They planned all that out. Rope a dope. I'm gonna punch you here. You punch me here.
You know what?
Let's go 10 rounds and give them at least give these people something.
You're not the first person to bring that up.
Oh yeah.
On that argument, that was risky as fuck if that was the plan.
Yeah.
Because watching this fight, Easily, Conor McGregor won the first 3 rounds. The 4th round was a little bit of a toss-up, but I would also give that one to McGregor. I think maybe the 6th or the 7th round, I would give it to McGregor also. So on my scorecard, he's down 5 rounds to 4. Mayweather is down 5 rounds to 4. It's one thing for it to be a spectacle, but if you're going to make it last the entire fight, the magical words of Dana White, never leave a fight in the hands of the judges.
Right.
You know, but his plan worked. Yeah. McGregor's used to 5 rounds at 5 minutes each. Once he got into the 9th and 10th round, that was clearly over the time limit that he would normally have in a mixed martial arts fight. Even though in boxing it's 3 rounds and then you get the 1 minute respite as opposed to 5 minutes in an MMA fight. But yeah, if all Mayweather had to do was watch McGregor's last fight with Nate Diaz and how he just gassed out halfway through.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. It was like, okay, they went 10 rounds. If anything after the 5th round, that's going to favor Mayweather because McGregor's not used to going that distance. And I could, just in the clips that I saw of those rounds, I could tell towards the end, like the last few rounds, McGregor's getting slower and Mayweather.
He gassed. He gave it everything he could in those first rounds.
But there's some nice shots he gave him too. Some of those uppercuts.
Yeah, I've seen his fights with Manny Pacquiao. He had a pretty decent fight with Maidana, and then with Canelo Alvarez. None of those guys landed the shots that McGregor did.
Yeah,
you know, and he was really aggressive. You know, I don't think Mayweather was used to a fighter like that because McGregor, he said this in a press conference. He's not like any other boxer. He's a mixed martial artist. He can kill Mayweather in 30 seconds if he wanted to.
I did see he was throwing hammer shots.
Yeah,
too.
He was throwing a lot of hammer fists, and even though they're legal.
Yeah,
that's not something that a lot of boxers do in the ring when you're boxing. So that's another aspect that Mayweather probably wasn't expecting. So
I'm also he probably wasn't expecting that racist referee. Did you see? No, did you see that ref? Like the whole time he's going over the rules, he was like staring down McGregor the whole time.
Well, the reason for that was again McGregor's an MMA guy. If at any chance, just to scare him.
Yeah.
He could just pick him up and gorilla press him down just to intimidate.
Right.
Even apparently there was like a 7-figure penalty, monetarily if McGregor was going to do that kind of like shenanigans to Mayweather. But
so no WrestleMania 2 Roddy Piper Mr. T.
No,
that would have been hilarious. That would have been worth $100 right there.
But I think in the end everybody won. I mean,
yeah, they got their money.
Mayweather's undefeated, 50-0. Legitimate. That counts towards his record because it was a legit boxing match in the Nevada Commission. You know, that judges and testing and everything. That was a legit fight. Whether you have the experience of Manny Pacquiao or Maidana, or if you're just a scrub like in the boxing world, a scrub like McGregor.
Yeah.
McGregor lasted a whole lot longer than anybody outside the MMA culture gave him credit for.
Yeah.
So he's over.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and who this helps out the most is a guy like Canelo Alvarez. I'm willing to bet money.
Who?
One of Mayweather's last opponents is Canelo Alvarez from Mexico. The spectacle fight was this fight, Mayweather versus McGregor. The boxing purists, the fight that's coming up between Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, they have a combined record of 82-2. And they're 82 wins, 2 losses between both of the guys.
Man, we're getting too much into boxing. We're veering off here.
Yeah, because this is a wrestling podcast, right?
Yeah.
Among the freak show matches we've ever had,
right?
Muhammad Ali against Inoki, Terry Funk against Spinks, Mayweather against the Big Show at WrestleMania,
right?
CM Punk, Mickey Gall. Where would this fall?
You know what? I'm not going to count CM Punk and Mickey Gall because CM Punk it was a spectacle for sure, but this was. In the mind of CM Punk, he wasn't being a wrestler trying to fight MMA. This was him trying to be an MMA fighter.
But from the outside looking in, up to that point, he had no legit mixed martial arts experience, no wrestling background, not even like high school sports. Like he had nothing in his resume for him to be warranted a fight in the UFC, other than the fact that he's a pro wrestler, and the last pro wrestler that they led into the UFC made them a shit ton of money, which was Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
you know, so. I would kind of put that in that category.
That's interesting because you can go either way. Like I guess I'm thinking of it in the mind of CM Punk, like because to him it was legit. Like it wasn't as
He wanted to make a career out of it.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't It wasn't James Toney against Randy Couture.
It wasn't a publicity stunt.
Exactly.
It was just him trying to be an MMA fighter, and it just failed, unfortunately for him. But
as of now,
it didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because
would you have started to follow UFC a little bit more if Punk was actually?
I haven't been watching UFC lately, but I've been probably watching. I remember UFC in the early days when it was
Shamrock,
when it was legitimately mixed martial arts, like you had a boxer versus judo or something like that. Going to the video stores and having to rent UFC 1, 2, 3. I remember all that when it was banned in pay-per-views and shit like that. I remember that. That's me watching UFC goes back to that. I've fallen off of it every so often, and then I'll get back into it and fall off of it again. Like I haven't watched it closely in the last few years
since Lesnar dropped out. Since Lesnar came back.
Yeah. Because I started to get back into it when Ultimate Fighter first came back.
Yes.
And then probably 5 years into that, I started falling off because all the guys I knew were dropping off. And then they're bringing in guys I have no connection with, and and like every pay-per-view was like a main event of someone else I didn't know, and I was like, I can't follow this anymore. And then Brock Lesnar came back. I was like, okay, I know him. Yeah. I can watch this again. And then he got hurt. And I was like, okay, well, it's been fun. But you left one out. You left one out of the list of
freak shows.
Yeah.
Well, freak show is a hard term, but
it's fair enough. Yeah. You forgot Muhammad Ali versus Superman.
Oh,
come on
comics,
now.
Yeah.
Come on now. I think that predates Inoki and Ali, probably. You comic book fans out there, you're nodding your head yes. I know you are. You're like, yeah, that's it. That motherfucker knows the shit. That's right.
And this segment was sponsored by Pop Culture Rewind.
Yeah, goddamn right it was. Which you can find at popculturerewind.com.
And on Twitter at popculturerwnd.
Look at you. It's like your co-host or something. iTunes? We're on iTunes too. We're taking over. Our next episode. No, just kidding.
So you said that in hindsight, maybe $50 was still too much to pay. How about Enzo Amore? Did you see the picture of him on Instagram? He paid $10,000 for an eighth row seat on the floor.
Well, he's a fucking idiot. that's what I gotta say about that. I mean, I thought it was just a gimmick. I thought it was a character, but apparently,
well, you sell all that merch money because you're a certified G. You're able to splurge every now and then.
Yeah. I guess I'm a hater.
Yeah. What do we got over here? Well, I kind of figured I would use that as a transition because apparently, if you judge locker rooms, he might not be the most hated guy in the locker room anymore.
Oh, why is that?
Twitch aired for free over the weekend. Oh, yeah. Triple Mania 25 from the AAA promotion that also funds Lucha Underground.
Now, see, I'm fortunate enough to where
you have internet, therefore you have Twitch.
That too, yeah. But I was gonna say I have a wonderful wife who can tolerate me up to a point of watching wrestling. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and we'll get to some other stuff too. But when I start mentioning, hey, can we watch
Triple Mania?
Yeah. This is when I start getting dirty looks, and especially when you're trapped inside your house and you can't go anywhere. No, I'm not going to be able to watch Triple Mania.
Did you get that dreaded quote that all women give men when they ask certain things? It's like, who's the bitch?
It goes without saying, but I couldn't watch the thing. So, but anyway, there was a big thing that came out of that.
Yeah, there was a 4-way match for their women's title, for their women's championship, and the finish was Sexy Star putting Rosemary in an armbar.
Can I say something first?
Go ahead.
Okay, since it has been a while since I've been on the show.
You remember how good Sexy Star looked without her mask?
Oh my goodness gracious! Ooh, Lord Jesus. I do declare, I got the vapors. All right, so no, I was gonna say is since I've been off of Houston Wrestling Radio, I've kind of dropped off on my hardcoreness of wrestling. I don't frequent websites anymore.
You've become a casual.
I'm a casual fan. My rest, and this goes for the rest of this episode too. Like my viewing habits has basically just been WWE for the last few months, however long it's been. Mainly because I know you have Lucha Underground, but I got locked out of your iTunes thing, so I can't watch that anymore. And I have Impact on my DVR. I just can't find myself to watch it. And ROH, I have no idea what's going on with ROH.
Neither do I.
So it's just WWE, man, and I'm okay with that. That's enough wrestling for me right now. And I normally go to some websites, but I've not visited a wrestling website in months. So any kind of backstage news, gossip, things like that going on, I have no. So you're gonna have to be filling me in on some stuff.
Okay,
but this I did hear because I think
this has been on Facebook and Twitter for days over the weekend.
This made the rounds on Facebook.
If any Houstonians were trying to find some respite from all these Hurricane Harvey posts and Red Cross posts and bashing Joel Osteen posts on Facebook and Twitter,
that's probably the best thing to come out.
Somewhere under the cream of that crop was this hoopla that she didn't break the hold. Not only that, she put more pressure on the hold after the match was called off to where she popped Rosemary's arm out of place.
Yeah.
And that got wicked heat backstage to the point where WrestleCade canceled their bookings. A couple of other wrestling promotions have canceled their bookings with Sexy. And WrestleCade, for example, they replaced her with Rosemary.
Yeah. Did they? Let me ask you this: Did they say why she did this? I know I heard the term she went into business for herself, but normally that's like if you have heat with somebody, or. Yeah. But is that the case with this?
I haven't read anything so far. Again, maybe that's because of my access. If I look up on my social media, I get mostly hurricane stuff.
Right. Yeah, we've been kind of inundated with like hurricane.
I did see the video, and I haven't been watching Mexican wrestling in a long time, other than Lucha. And Lucha is more Americanized. Yeah. So, when the match is over, you hear a bell, which I didn't hear in the video footage that they showed of Triple Mania.
So you think she didn't hear
maybe it? She didn't hear it, or maybe there was a lot going on.
Maybe she got lost in the moment.
But for so many wrestlers to have the same opinion right now, it's kind of telling, dude.
Yeah, I saw some reactions online too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it sucks. I mean... I don't know this.
One of my favorite women wrestlers right now in wrestling because of her story and what she could do to ring. Hell, she was Lucha Underground heavyweight champion, a belt men wear.
That I remember. Yes.
Yeah. So for her to have this kind of heat, it sucks. But I would need more information to make a definitive decision.
But just visual watching the video. In
the moment, I was waiting to hear something like a bell. I couldn't hear it. Maybe the audio quality was kind of bad. But
fool, you had your phone on mute.
Maybe that was it. But dude, I have not. This blindsided me
because I can't imagine. I've never heard of anything about Sexy Star being unprofessional or anything like that, or anybody having any problems with it. So this seems kind of out of the ordinary. This seems like, why would this automatically be an issue with her? Yeah. So something's. I think there's a piece of information that we're missing on this. So.
Well, we'll have a week. Hopefully, we'll figure it out soon. I want to know.
Does Rosemary is she still in TNA?
Yeah.
Is she? Okay.
Speaking of women, it's actually going to be a woman-heavy episode.
That's why you want to do the episode.
That's why I want to do the episode.
Boobs.
I was thinking this for a while. I was like, all right, how are you going to have Asuka debut on the main roster with the belt?
That's been the question for
because
a while now.
I would think that some of her appeal would be lost if she actually had to lay down for somebody on her way out, because everybody in NXT does that.
That's the formula.
Everybody in NXT
look at Bobby Roode.
Exactly, great example. She toughed out a broken collarbone through her match in NXT Brooklyn with Ember Moon. She finished the match. She was announced that she was going to be out on injury for a couple of weeks, 4 to 6, I think. WWE's Facebook announced that in the last tapings that they did for the next month and a half of television, Asuka's relinquished the title. So she's no longer NXT Women's Champion. Most likely, Dirt Sheets with a Z, is that she's going to debut most likely at Hell in a Cell, or next month, October, on pay-per-view for a major brand. So this is her call-up.
Can I do a conspiracy theory on this?
The floor is yours, my man.
All right.
The whole house is yours.
Because you're goddamn right. So I remember the match with Asuka and
Ember
Moon, and to my knowledge, and maybe it was just subtle and I just didn't catch it, but I don't. Sometimes when injuries happen, like with Cass, You can see, you know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall a spot or anything in that match that would indicate that she got hurt. Because when I heard the news she got hurt, I was like, oh shit, okay, I don't remember.
I think I know when it happened.
Okay, here's my brain overreacting on this.
JFK.
Yeah. Do you think it is probable or possible that with the way they booked Asuka, as powerful as she is, they didn't want to go the route of her dropping the title before she got called up? And this is because this is a very convenient injury for her to have right when she. I think for all intents and purposes, I think a lot of people were betting that Ember was going to take the title from her and then she was going to get moved up. It's kind of weird that this injury just happens to happen right after she beat Ember Moon
for the second time
in her big match, in her big rematch against her. I think, call me crazy, I think, and it's wrestling, so hey, I could, I may not be out of my mind here, because like Jim Cornette always says, if you see it on TV or if they tell you about it, it's because they want you to know. Yeah. And for them to tell us that she got hurt at the match, and she's gonna have to relinquish the title because she's gonna be out for so long. That's mighty convenient that this is working out like that, and that more than likely she's gonna get called up. I don't think it's officially yet from WWE but I think a lot of people are saying, okay, well, obviously when she. So that could be the case. And then with her being gone for that time frame off TV, she could be working on promo skills for the main roster.
Rosetta Stone?
Yeah. Whatever they got to do. Because I guarantee you, Vince does not want another Shinsuke Nakamura. Promo-wise.
Which is why I would love for Asuka to be on Raw so that she could be the first Paul Heyman girl.
Oh, okay. That'd be interesting.
And have Paul Heyman do all the work. And have Asuka do all the killing.
I kind of wish that they would go back to the idea of having a stable, like a Heyman stable. That'd be fun.
Yeah. The Heyman stable wasn't as fun when Lesnar was gone, and it was, Curtis Axel and who else? It was somebody else. Cesaro.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he was a Heyman guy for a cup of coffee after he won the tournament, the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Would be nice. Have a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Variety.
Yeah.
To have Paul Heyman dip in the women's division.
So, where do you think she goes? Do you think she goes to Raw? If she gets called up.
I would hate for her to go to Raw because Raw's top heavy already and you want the brands to be down the middle. But all due respect to the SmackDown brand, you have Charlotte and
Becky. Dude, Becky and Sasha, Becky and Asuka?
Naomi. Her skills, she could probably provide a pretty decent match for Asuka. But
they both have the. I want to see a double hip attack at the same time. And they bounce each other's off butts.
If you want to do a decent job of trying to build Bayley back up and have the crowd not completely boo her, is renew the rivalry that Bayley still hasn't been able to beat Asuka.
And keep really. That was only. They only had a couple matches. I wouldn't say that was a big feud, big rivalry.
Yeah, but Bayley left NXT without ever getting.
Bayley needs more help than just that. Oh, that's the least of her concerns.
I would probably say Raw. Alexa Bliss against fucking Asuka.
I'm gonna say Raw also only because Nakamura is on SmackDown.
Yeah,
you have your international variety on both shows.
Yeah,
and it's the flagship show. I think Asuka has proved herself that she can have entertaining matches in and out.
Yeah.
Same thing with Nakamura, but I think when you're having your top show, your flagship show, and you want to have the best women on there, I think she should start off on Raw.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually at some point flip over to SmackDown, but to start off, yeah. Because right now they don't have any. The only other Japanese superstars is Nakamura. Oh, it's Tozawa. He's in 205.
But he's on Raw every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that sounds about right. That's it. That's all they got.
Yeah.
That's it for the news segment. There's a couple of little bits, but we can get to that later.
Oh, there. Speaking of the women, there was a title change on Raw also, right?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. We had Sasha defending her belt against Alexa, and before the match, Alexa in the backstage promo called out the fact that Sasha is basically lucky. Like she's not a good champion because she loses every single time she has her first defense. And I think, okay, well, even I was watching my wife, and my wife was like, "Oh, well,
you thought that was a red herring that Sasha was finally gonna win?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, why even mention it?
Yeah.
You know, other than
But she lost.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay. That's what do you think about that? I was kind of surprised.
I wasn't so much surprised at the match. I was surprised at the aftermath because I've said this for the last couple of months on the show. I'm already sick of Sasha and Charlotte for the most part already main eventing. Mm-hmm. You know, because they had the belt so long back and forth main eventing Raws. It's a good thing. Hell in a Cell for women, great for the business. Yeah. But I want to see more people in the title scene now.
Right.
So, and I'm not tired of Alexa Bliss. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I love that they're finally gonna do something with Nia Jax because this is a complaint I'll have later on in the women talk, but. I'm a fan of something different. Mm-hmm. You know, she's not your cookie cutter out of the page of 17 magazine. She's big and beautiful, and she can do all the stuff that everybody else can. Mm-hmm. But she looks different. Right. And how she just turned the switch and dropped Alexa like a bad habit. Already, I'm interested in this.
Well, I saw that coming.
So did I, but still.
Here's my thing. If it was me, and I'm just you don't see an armchair here, but if I'm booking this thing, goddammit, here I would have tweaked it just a tiny bit. Because right before she did that to Alexa, she squashed Sasha in the corner. What I was thinking, what would have been cool would be Nia starts attacking Alexa, and then Sasha gets up, and then she starts attacking Alexa also. We get a double turn. We get Alexa going face, and we have Sasha finally going heel. Because what else are they going to do with her now? They've proven that I'm done with her as a champion. Mm-hmm. Forget about it. Alexa proved her point. She's a fluke as a champion. Like she can't retain. She's a bad champion. Yeah. So why not flip that switch right then and there? You don't have Bayley to bounce off of to do that heel turn with Sasha now. Mm-hmm. I think that would have been a perfect opportunity. To have Nia and Sasha together, like beating the shit out of Alexa as a double as a double turn, I think that would have been good. I don't know who else you would have had to come to her aid.
No one.
Who else is in there? Emma and Mickie James, but they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, everybody else is.
Dude, that music for Emma, I damn near puked in my mouth when that new music. Did you hear that music? Emma's new theme song.
She has another one.
It's terrible.
Another new theme song. They didn't. They got rid of that remix.
Yeah, the good music that she's had this whole time. Yeah, they got rid of that. Oh. You didn't hear? Oh, it's bad. It's like generic pop music. It's just it's terrible. Anyway, but who else do they got? Oh, Dana, what's her face? That bitch.
Brooke, yeah. Dana Brooke, Mickie James. Those are the only faces besides Sasha and Bayley.
So if Bayley wasn't hurt, she could have come out to act like she was gonna maybe go with Sasha, but then Sasha beats down on her too, and then you would have had Alexa. Well, then it'd be hard to get Alexa to team up with anybody because it's Alexa Bliss, and But yeah, they have different possibilities. They can. I don't know how far out Bayley is from returning, but there could be something with that. I don't know who comes back first, Bayley or Asuka, but
oh man, you're at a point right now where you need to figure out what you're going to do with Bayley because it's every week now. Every city, like the boos are getting louder, the boos are getting persistent.
Well, she's been on TV for a while, isn't she?
Yeah, but I don't.
But before that,
it's gonna take more than her just being off of TV to fix whatever problem she has.
She needs a makeover stat. Yeah, like heart. Bad.
I think Bayley can keep her positiveness, but not try to look like a 12-year-old.
I agree.
You know. I think that's the only thing that would probably benefit her to get back to where she is. Like, there's nothing wrong with her being a female version of John Cena, but damn, you are attractive. Why are you hiding all that? You know, I mean, her get up right now isn't appealing to the general male eye. But if you were to see her in a dress or in a 2-piece bikini suit, you'd be like, holy crap,
she's got a good body. She's got a good body, but
yeah. You could still be Wonder Woman to the little kids. Just
yeah.
Lucha Underground happened. The finals of the Cueto Cup. I won't go into too much detail again because you haven't been keeping up.
I'm just gonna be like, if you start
Mundo retained his title.
I'm not gonna
Puma
understand
versus
what's going on right now.
Puma versus Pentagon. It was fucking fun as shit. So we're getting Johnny Mundo against Prince Puma at Ultima Lucha 3.
Real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on Lucha, but I remember before I even left the show last time, there was the thing with Conan's group over Mexico, and people were leaving AAA.
I still have.
Are they still on? Like, are these pre-recorded or what's going on?
Johnny Mundo has debuted on Impact Wrestling as Johnny Impact.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So Johnny Mundo is on Impact Wrestling now as Johnny Impact.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
He spoiler alert for anybody that cares. He's actually going to main event this year's Bound for Glory. He has a title shot for the heavyweight title.
Dude, what?
Yeah, Johnny Impact.
Johnny Impact.
Yeah.
That's original.
Drago has been doing shows with them. Tejano is on this Bound for Glory card apparently also. Phantasma from AAA is also on there, and they're actually going to debut another AAA wrestler. So there's King Ricochet has been invading New Japan for a while, just waiting to wrestle, waiting for this Lucha Underground season to finish. And there's still contract issues.
He's wrestling over New Japan?
Yeah. And then there's issues with Pentagon and Phoenix. You know, Pentagon had
right.
to
That's
change
what I was
his name.
asking about.
So
because, So are all these episodes on Lucha Underground, are they pre-recorded?
These were recorded like in the middle of last year.
Oh, shit.
Like these are fucking old. Everybody's just waiting for these episodes to air, and then after those 90 days, they can finally do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
Because, dude, and it sucks being a fan, being invested from the very beginning. Every other week, their matches were match of the week candidates. We had several match of the year candidates from them. I have the spoiler in the back of my head of
you got dry mouths from sucking their dicks all the time.
That too. Yeah. Oh yeah, the cream was delicious.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, I know how this season's gonna end. I know who's leaving with the title.
Okay. Is this last season of Lucha? I mean, can they even continue?
The question is, how can you continue a fourth season with
that's half your roster.
With assuming not just half your roster, your most over guy, right. Pentagon, Cero Miedo, his brother Phoenix, Johnny Mundo, Drago,
King Puma or Puma,
Prince Puma. He wasn't a big player, but we haven't seen freaking King Cuerno in this entire season.
Well, he's gone. He's I think an Impact. I could have sworn I saw him in Impact.
So like
a different name, but
like a lot of your heavy hitters are completely gone.
Yeah.
So how do you do a fourth season? Like,
you keep bringing in people, but I mean,
it's not gonna have the same appeal though.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks knowing what's gonna happen.
Are the storylines still?
The storylines are still awesome, dude.
Right.
I should have signed you into my iTunes account before the hurricane, so you could have had this whole weekend to catch up, and you would have not been disappointed at all.
Yeah.
But that's Lucha in a nutshell. I'm pretty sure next week, if the guys, a bunch of Mexicans are going to have time to watch it, they'll go over it. NXT, basically, again, the same complaint as every other takeover. The first episode is just tapings of matches that happened before the takeover aired. Again, I was there in Brooklyn. The tag match between the UK guys, it was Pete Dunne and Wolfgang against Trent Seven.
I don't even care about them anymore.
And Tyler Bate. And you know what? I'm exactly in the same boat. Like that, if it's I understand if it's a major title. For example, Cody Rhodes is your champion of Ring of Honor.
Right.
He's sticking it to Ring of Honor by defending that belt in other promotions. Like he's been defending it in New Japan. He's been defending it in.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But that title's been established ever since Ring of Honor's existence.
Right.
This UK title's been around for how many cups of coffee? And
I was about to say about two.
Yeah,
about
two and a half.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's starting to simmer.
And already,
the steam's gone from it.
Like we have a match of the year candidate from them, from Takeover Chicago, and after that, poof.
Yeah.
Like I said it from the very beginning when the tournament was over. The next weekend was Royal Rumble in San Antonio. What better way not to have Tyler Bate in the crowd waving?
Right.
Have them defend the fucking belt.
But at this point,
and at this point, what is it?
Hindsight, it wouldn't have made a difference because they're still don't do anything.
If they would have, they tried to take a step forward by having them on NXT, but even then, they didn't know how to commit to it to the point where now, like, all those guys are an afterthought for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, and as much as I loved being in person and watching, that's a match of the week candidate for me because it was really good, even without the commentary.
You know what'd be funny?
But, fuck.
Check this out. I just thought about this. Would it be funny if like us, we just see him like on NXT and shit like that? But like if you live in the UK, like there's a weekly show with him, we don't even know about it.
Yeah,
that'd be funny, right? That'd be like a totally separate brand.
Pete Dunne was still the Progress Heavyweight Champion when he beat Tyler Bate for the NXT for the UK title.
Right.
You know, so he's probably been having more matches in his hometown than he has in front of NXT WWE cameras.
Oh, I'm sure. But he, you know what? And I said this, and I don't think I was even on the show anymore when I said this, but they should have had it to where they at least had some kind of working agreement to where they could get the footage from them and have them come out with the UK belt so that WWE can use that footage and show it on the network. They can throw up an hour show of something. It doesn't have, I don't know why they're stressing so hard trying to figure something out with this thing. It's easy. You already have locations over there. You already have fan bases over there. You already have rosters over there. Just fucking just get the footage. Yeah. Treat it like you're buying out WCW or something.
Which leads to another transition. We had the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yes.
Awesome matches. Great guys.
Right.
A lot of favorites. I learned to like some new guys.
Right.
How did that transition go from the Cruiserweight Classic to 205? Like, it felt like a half-assed version of the WCW Invasion where they didn't bring in the best guys at first. You know? Now with this UK tournament, it took a little time, and even then, they don't even know what they're doing with it. Now we have 32 gorgeous women in the Mae Young Classic. Are we going to have this problem 6 months from now? Where, like, the best girls, we're not going to have at the beginning just a couple of hand-picked pieces of fruit, and the rest are going to go back to Shimmer? Because it felt like this was 80% Shimmer.
Me too.
You
like
know?
all their footages.
Like, hey, thank you, by the way, to Shimmer for all the footage. Like, okay, well, are we trying to outdo Shimmer like we're trying to outdo Ring of Honor? Like, we're trying to outdo everything else now?
And here's my thing about the...
So is this basically the best women that WWE could find, or is this the best women that Shimmer could lend us?
Is this our Mae Young
This
talk?
is our transition to the Mae Young talk.
Okay. So, I do agree. There's a lot of footage. I saw the logo for Shimmer quite a bit on their archive footage. Here's my thing. If you want to make comparisons between this and the Cruiserweight and the UK tournaments, I think this is just a way to... I'm not sure what the goal of the Cruiserweight Classic was supposed to be, other than have matches. Mm-hmm. The UK was to establish a UK belt and to establish a brand over in the UK, which hasn't hasn't come to fruition. I think the purpose of the Mae Young Classic is to actually build up their established rosters on Raw and SmackDown, maybe even NXT. There's no way that they're spotlighting all these women for them not to do anything with them. I think, and we'll get to this here in just a second, but I think that through all the women listed on this tournament, I think they already have who they want to sign, if they haven't already, because this is already pre-taped and shit, but who they want to go to Raw, who they want to go to SmackDown, and if they want to have anybody go to NXT. I don't think that wins, losses have anything to do with this. I think it's a matter of, it was a testing ground for audience reactions on who gets, because some were responsive, a lot of them got...
A lot of that audience, to their credit, they knew who most of these Shimmer girls were. There were some loud pops for some. Yeah. Others got pops throughout the match when you're realizing, holy shit, she's awesome. Holy shit, that girl's different. Holy shit, that one in the Mohawk's gonna fucking kill me.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You watched all 4 of them so far?
Yes.
Or the first? Okay, I did too. Spoiler alert, I'm sure we're gonna talk about wins, losses here. So if you haven't seen it, you might want to fast forward through a couple of minutes here. But
we're gonna try not to go match by match because the biggest other issue is I'm in the moment. I'm not a binge guy. Like, I didn't binge Game of Thrones until like the 6th season, and I started from the beginning. So if they were if it weren't for the hurricane, I wouldn't have watched any of these episodes. I'd probably not watched any of this Mae Young tournament until after it was already finished. Because apparently the finals, the final match is going to be aired live on the network after an episode of SmackDown in September in Las Vegas.
In September?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So they're gonna. So I'm guessing we're getting
next week.
Well, I'm guessing we're getting 4 more episodes next week, the second round, and then the week after that we'll probably get the quarters and the semis, and then the live final will be. So I'm not sure, dude. 4 hours of wrestling on top of 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, and 1 hour of 205 and an hour of NXT. That's too much fucking wrestling.
Well, so here's me, and again, casual guy now.
Yeah.
In this particular week, it was okay. I watched the first 2 episodes on Monday and the last 2 episodes on Tuesday. But here's the thing: I was trapped in my house.
Yeah.
So that was 2 hours of kill time on that one, and then at 7 o'clock on Monday, I was actually looking forward to Raw. Because that was going to be 3 hours of stuff that I can take my mind off of hearing rain drop on my fucking house. Yeah. So it didn't bother me this week. And plus, with the content being the women wrestling, I was in the house with my wife. My wife had interest. She had vested interest too. So she wanted to watch it too. So it was something we could actually watch together. Yeah. As opposed to her just watching Raw because want to watch Raw. Yeah. And she's kind of like, whatever. Mm.
Or I'm here and I want to watch Raw with you. Yeah. And she's like, this guy again.
Yeah. But this was something that we were both watching. And now...
They were both interested.
Yeah. And now I can tell you this. There's some women in here that we saw the brackets for next round 2. Yeah. And even my wife was like, oh, God. You know, like she's like...
into it. Yeah. I'm gonna. You made a statement. I'm gonna go throw this out. Okay. This is my hot cake for the night. Hot cake. Yeah, hot cake. Yeah. The women in this tournament, all of them, they have very great fundamentals. They all look like they deserve to be there. But after I've had experience watching the Cruiserweight Classic and different styles of wrestling, a lot of strong style, a lot of people diving over the top rope, a lot of submissions. This was very, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, this was very basic, you know, yep. and I don't mean it in a critical way. I'm looking at it through the eyes of
it's your paper cutter.
It's 2017.
Right.
If we really want to value the women's revolution, I'm not looking for just somebody with a heart-shaped ass and a great set of tits.
Like, it doesn't hurt though.
It doesn't hurt, but I'm looking for things that WWE's had a hard time doing in the last 5 years, and that's characters. That's personality. That's an all-around package, not just what your eyes are looking at in the moment, or us guys, which head you're thinking with in the moment. So there's probably about 5 or 6 women that I think have longevity in the company, let alone this tournament. But the rest was pretty basic.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to side with you 100% on that. There was one... I was taking note of the women during these matches of... There was some I was watching that I was like, Vince has already signed her. Like, I can already tell... Like,
if it's not Vince, Triple H is beating the shit out of him, telling him, you better sign this girl.
Do you want to go back and forth with a couple women that...
Throw one out for me.
Jazzy Gabbert. The big
mother Germany. Yes. Oh, I am sucking on that teat. Sweet Jesus. And you know what made it so much better? Let me go back to my notes.
While you're doing that, she's like straight up 80s action hero. Like,
which Rocky was it?
Exactly. Rocky 4. Dude, I was like, this is perfect. She's got the look with the hair, the makeup under the eyes and everything, and she's carrying the flag around. This is a perfect built-in character ready to go. Put her on TV right now.
Not to be a perv, she still looked attractive.
In her
own way, yeah. she owned the fact that the way she posed with the flag over her. I was like, oh my God!
It wasn't overtly or anything.
It was just.
What really got me on that was
for someone that looks that built, she was pretty feminine, and I enjoyed that.
There was one. Okay, besides the spectacle of her just as the gimmick itself, there was a spot in the match against Abby Faith.
Abby Laith.
She got her in the corner and with that combo she did. Holy shit! I was actually when they were both coming out, I was like, I'm sorry, Abby, you're not going to win. And then Abby ended up winning, and I was like, okay, that kind of sucks, but I'm sure Jazzy's already got a sign. She's already got she's already somewhere.
Main event Raw or main event an NXT pay-per-view. Fuck it. Main event a Raw or SmackDown pay-per-view with Asuka versus Gabbert. Take my money. I want that.
No. Nia beats Alexa for the title, and then out comes Jazzy. Stare down in the middle of the ring.
Old school wrestling. A good antagonist is only as good as her protagonist.
Right.
Abby Laith. Those first 15 seconds. This crowd was like, who is that? What is that? those first 15 seconds where Abby just laid into her and she pushed and Abby screamed and went back and laid into her. And then she pushed again. And then Abby screamed and Gabbert was also like at the same time. Raw! Yeah. Dude, I was like, look, you could already see the
crowd got up.
Yeah, I was like, holy... Dude, that up to that first episode, that was actually my match of the week pick. That was that match.
You know what it reminded me of, and you just describing it kind of cemented it for me. Do you remember back in Impact we have Taylor Wilde and Awesome Kong?
Yes! The underdog story. Taylor finally found a way to like roll her up and beat her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, this match had money all over it.
That was one that I checked off, like that's someone to look out for. What about you? Who did you say you had?
Right off the top, nice girl. We met them before. MMA's version of the Four Horsewomen, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Her match with Zeta.
Yeah.
Was another match of the week candidate for me because, again, I want to see something different. Mm-hmm. This was not a wrestling match.
No.
There was some good submissions back and forth. It didn't look like a complete job out. It highlighted Baszler's pros, which was a legit MMA background. Zeta actually kept up with it. Quality over quantity, that was some awesome 4 minutes. And I loved it a lot. I'm curious. 4 minutes? I'm curious to see later on in her career, and not only in this tournament, how long those matches are going to be, because that feels like, not in a negative way, Brock Lesnar. You can't have Brock Lesnar now with his MMA background going 25, 30 minutes in the main event. His match with Goldberg for 8 minutes at WrestleMania, you and I were like, holy crap, that had us, because that was perfectly spaced.
Right.
Like, how much of a Shayna Baszler match is too much? You know, and that's going to be some waters that's going to be interesting, at least interesting for me to see going forward in her. Because I want to see more of her.
I think that falls onto who's your opponent, you know. Mm-hmm. Honestly, in that match, I enjoyed it. However, I thought that Zeta was actually holding her own, if not doing more than what Shayna does. And then when Shayna won, I was like, okay. And then I guess because her name recognition. Yeah. And then the kicker after the match, she goes down with the other horsewomen, and they do the thing. And I was like, okay, here we go. Yeah. They're gonna set something up between their 4 horsewomen versus WWE's 4 horsewomen. Yeah. Dude, Shayna versus Becky, the arm bars and shit.
That's
WrestleMania written all over.
There's 2 complaints I have now that you mention it. Number 1, again, a frequent watcher of UFC. When they have celebrities in the crowd, mm-hmm. they don't make an effort of having them stand up and applaud and all this crap. They just sit there chilling. You know, if they're talking next to somebody, they're talking to somebody. Yeah. Or if they look at the camera, they'll show their fist and acknowledge, and then they'll go back to whatever the fuck they were looking at. Right. The clips of everybody on ringside, the wrestlers, the 4 horsewomen, Johnny Gargano supporting his fiance, those felt so ungenuine. Like I didn't need it, even then.
I'm used to it though. I mean, you're nitpicking. Come on,
a little, yeah, but it threw me off a little bit. I'll say that.
All right, so that's yours. You have So you had.
So Shane. You threw out Jazzy,
yeah,
and I gave you Shayna Baszler. Throw me one.
One that both me and my wife really enjoyed. Toni Storm.
Ooh, former Shimmer champion.
Progress Women's champion.
Progress Women's champion. The first ever Progress Women's champion.
With the little hat and the makeup and the jacket and the glass. And dude, you want to talk about character and gimmick and everything? Dude, right there. Her and Jazzy, I mean, those are prime ready to go. You can put those on TV like right now.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish that, because Toni Storm won her match with I think it was a roll-up or something. Mm-hmm. She got a quick victory. I was wanting to know what her finisher was. Because she didn't use her finisher. It was some kind of fluke,
like a roll up or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But because even my wife was like, "Damn, I want to see what her finisher was." That leads into who she's going to be fighting next week. That was I'm going to go again here. Lacey Evans.
Ooh.
The All-American Marine girl.
She had a couple of matches on NXT already.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was doing a lot of rolling my eyes during this whole tournament.
I'm sure you were. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
And then they're gonna fight next week or the next round. That's gonna be a good match. I'm gonna hate to see one of them go. Actually,
since you mentioned Lacey Evans, I'm gonna mention her opponent. Tainara Conti.
Really?
You want to talk, and not because of not because of her in ring. Again, I'm looking at all around.
All right.
You want to see how far judo will get you? Ask Ronda Rousey how long her championships were because she had the judo background. Yeah. Her coming out with the robe, her bowing,
right?
Her bowing instead of doing the handshake,
right.
Her submission. She has a presentation with her being all in legitimately showing off her judo with the robe and the skills. I think in a world of wrestling that now is more appreciative of a stronger style. A mainstream audience would appreciate her package. Okay. They would appreciate that,
but they didn't though. I didn't see she didn't have a big reaction or anything. And then on top of all that, honestly, dude, she didn't really do much for me in the ring.
She didn't do that much for me in the ring either.
She looked inexperienced, she didn't know what she was doing. She looked very green. Mm-hmm. And I hate to say it, but I mean, she didn't need to be there, honestly. But that's just me. But I see what you're saying. I appreciate that they brought her in the first place. Mm-hmm. First Brazilian chick in there, black belt, judo, all this other stuff. But man, when that bell rang, it just disappeared, man.
I got one for you. Again, somebody that likes something different.
No, I think I know where you're going with this.
Where?
Tell me. Go ahead.
Piper Niven.
I knew it.
Santana Garrett's got a huge following already in the independent women promotion. Mm-hmm. I liked her in women wrestling. I was actually at a CFE arena in Orlando, Royal Rumble weekend. She actually wrestled there, and she got a louder pop than a lot of the men.
Well, I remember her
because she's from Florida. She's from Ocala.
Yeah, I remember her. She was in Impact. Yeah. She was the NWA Women's Champion, and so I followed her for a while. So I saw her. I was like, yes, and then she lost that first round. Maybe
does she need the victory though? I mean, she's done everything else already. I would think she's a girl again because I've already seen her on NXT. Why not?
Going back to what you originally said before we started this conversation, the best the best that you could find. She is, I think, as far as women wrestling goes.
Dude, tell me that you would not want to see on SmackDown all the beautiful women and then right smack dab in the middle. Piper Niven.
I'm not taking away. No, I'm not taking away anything from Piper.
You're focusing more on Santana.
She has a look. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm not taking that away from her. Mm-hmm. She has a look, and she could go too.
Oh yeah, dude.
She wasn't just an attraction or whatever you want to call it.
She actually took a pretty decent bump that Hurricane Rana from the top rope when she was sitting on the top rope. I was impressed.
Yeah, I mean I was too. Yeah. It's just unfortunate because I'm such a fan of Santana Garrett. Mm-hmm. It came at a cost, and that kind of soured me on Piper a little bit. Okay, does that make sense?
So, I understand.
So that's that.
There's one comment of the entire tournament so far in the first round that I couldn't stop laughing when I heard it. So JR during Rhea Ripley's match, she did a good job of keeping the taller woman in her match off of her feet. And so Jim Ross said, "Yeah, she's doing a good job of getting the taller woman off of her feet and on her back, where business can be transacted." And I was like, "Yeah, if there's one place I like my business transacted is with women on their back."
What about JR and Lita on commentary? Is that all right?
My first nitpick on JR within the first match, in the very beginning, Princesa Suhi. Mm. For anyone that doesn't understand the reference, I'm going to explain it to everyone. Hopefully someone will send a message to JR. Okay. Princesa Suhi is not a luchador. She is a luchadora.
Yes. Okay.
She kept calling her a dude. And I was like, JR, you've been commenting matches in Japan, and you've been commenting here. She's a chick, luchadora, pendejo, luchadora.
Did you like her going on, or did you like the what was it, Kaylee Ray? What do you think about her? I think my wife wanted Kaylee Ray to go on, but I didn't have a horse in that fight. Horse in the race, whatever. In that one, I didn't know either one of them, other than what I saw in the footage.
Oh my God, I've had this crush on this woman for a while, and it intensified.
Can we say it together?
It might not be the same person.
The start of the T?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
Because if you know, I know.
Starts with a C.
Everybody at Wrestle Circus knows Rachel Lee ain't no one to fuck with.
Yes,
Rachel Ellering. Well, Rachel Evers.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God. that's just my style. She and watching her live in Austin and watching her, I think it was ACW. There was a women's cup 4 or 5 years ago that me, Aaron, and Eduardo Cisneros and Porsche wound up going to. And I think
know who these people are.
Yeah, and she was at that tournament. So from the beginning, I was like, oh. Rachel Ellering, daughter of Paul Ellering.
It's funny you say that. You have that. Tessa Blanchard for me.
Who did I three? Man, if Charlotte wants to do a legit 4 horsewomen based on family,
yes,
you have Rachel Ellering, you have Tessa Blanchard, you have Charlotte Flair, and you have who else?
Natalia.
She's no disrespect.
What the fuck?
No disrespect.
Tamina? What the fuck?
No disrespect to Natty. She's been on WWE television for almost 10 years. I think her time's come and gone. If you're gonna
That's
do
like
this
evolution, man. That's like evolution.
Yeah,
come on,
Natty.
she's a champion.
Now, you know how long that took?
6 years.
Yeah, Rachel Evers. Slide it in the DM, Rachel.
I
can't wait to see her at Wrestle Circus. Hopefully this month, September. They're moving into a brand new building in Austin.
Are they?
A bigger building in Austin. All the proceeds are going to help Hurricane Harvey victims. So if you didn't already need an excuse, September, the weekend after Labor Day. So I think it's next weekend, next Saturday.
Get back with me on that because do venue and it's benefiting.
Yeah,
it's a benefit. It's a charity event, right? Okay, so all right. So that's funny. You say that about Rachel. Yeah, dude, Tessa Blanchard, dude. I remember I think I told you this before we started recording, but we saw her at Lone Star.
Is it safe to say friend of the show, Tessa Blanchard?
Sure, we interviewed her and we got pictures with her and shit. Yeah, but I've seen watching her on here, and I mean this, and I'm going to say this, and it's not going to sound pervy or anything. I mean this in...
You're not a pervy guy.
Not as much as you. But, in an adult, mature way. She's grown into herself, if that makes any sense. She's grown as a woman, and wrestling-wise...
She is not the same chick from Lone Star.
No,
she's
improved.
Oh yes,
she's improved tenfold in the wrestling ring, and her looks too. I'm not gonna lie, she looks
the black lipstick with the black outfit. Yeah,
maybe it was because she was going up against, and that's come from me, a much paler competitor. But she looked much, she looked much different from what I remember her from before.
You mentioned it, and Kairi Sane, her opponent. In this,
did you know about her before?
I have no idea who she is, but apparently everybody else knew who she was. If you listen
to WWE, yeah, everybody knew who she was.
Holy crap! And you know what? From start to finish, that's my match of the week.
Is it? Okay.
Kairi Sane against Tessa Blanchard. They're near falls. They had chemistry with each other. Yeah. Kairi was playing to her gimmick, walking the plank to do her running.
You can tell this is a gimmick she's had for.
That's another example of a fully rounded person, move wise, character wise, and if you're in the women's division, it doesn't hurt. If you are beautiful, which she definitely is, and she pulls it off. Sometimes even in cosplay, you look more attractive than you normally do in jeans and t-shirt. Put her on SmackDown.
Yeah,
she's ready to go.
Right.
Put Tessa on Raw. Put Kairi Sane on SmackDown, and they're both ready. I would think. Tessa's had a couple of matches on NXT. She had a match at Access before this year's WrestleMania that they wound up airing on NXT television. So
Tessa's been on NXT.
I've seen her on.
I've seen her on NXT a couple times. But that's it. I mean, so far I'm enjoying it. I agree. I like what you said earlier about the matches. Some of them just didn't impress. And I hate to say it, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I mean, come on. I mean, you're in a tournament that's being spotlighted by WWE. I would think that you bring your A game and you would go be as flashy as you can to get attention, right? I'm going to be the bad guy on this. I'm going to say this because it's going against. I wanted to root for a hometown girl, for Miranda. From Booker T's
from Reality of Wrestling. Did she get jobbed out?
I'm sorry, man, but yeah, she did. But here's the thing. She didn't go above and beyond. She didn't impress, for lack of a better word, in the ring. She was.
I think her promo delivered to where the in-ring quality just didn't match up to the promo, because her promo was like, all right. She's feisty. She doesn't take no for an answer. She's willing to beat somebody bigger, and she had somebody bigger in her match. Yeah. And it felt flat.
And I was gonna say something else. The thing is, and this is a gripe I've had with reality wrestling with you and Abel before, and maybe not on the air because of different reasons, but I'm not part of the show, I can say it.
And Abel's on a different bandwagon now anyway.
There you go.
DZW.
That goes back to something where I've said that's my biggest gripe is Booker T, to me, he doesn't treat our reality wrestling as an indie fed. He has this weird thing where he wants to create a mini WWE, like a mini sports entertainment league or something. Yeah. And they don't tour, for the most part. Like the only people that are in reality wrestling, they're only in reality wrestling. There's maybe you might see an outsider like come into reality wrestling, but you never see like them go on different tours. And if you go to a reality wrestling show, it's not like an indie show where it's like you have intermission and you have signing, you can meet the wrestlers and shit like that, and you can interact with like you can in an indie show. They're not indie wrestlers. These are indie like sports entertainers. I don't know. And to that point, there's no other. They do have a show. They do have a TV show. You can't take that away from them. They have syndication, whatever. But there's crickets when Miranda came out. And there's a reason for that. They don't have exposure on the actual scene of going touring on different places. And that was one thing I said. It's not reality wrestling isn't a. It's
like
not an indie
it's
fed.
like NXT. It has its identity crisis. It's like, are you
developmental or
are you
indie
developmental fed? Or if you're legitimately fed? Because now they're having some of those wrestlers actually go out on the road, like Hannah Vera. She's actually going to like 4 or 5 different promotions around the state now, which before she was only on reality wrestling television. So maybe now they're actually given the opportunity to get a little more exposure to know what it's like to be out on the road.
But they need to start going to like California and Florida and New York. Start going to these other spread your wings. Go to Ring of Honor for a weekend or something. Do something to get your name out there, because for it being Booker T and for them to have a TV show and all this other stuff, for her to have no acknowledgement when she got out there, to me, when I heard that she was on there, it felt, especially, it was kind of vindicated when she came out. It was like Triple H going to Booker, hey, we got 31 girls. You got anybody you can throw out there? Yeah. Just Miranda? Okay, bring her in. Whatever. Yeah, put her in the match. That's what it felt like. It felt like last minute, we need a filler. That's what it felt like. It felt like a filler. We needed someone to make someone advance into the next round. Yeah. Who'd she fight? I don't know.
I forgot too.
Yeah, because that match.
There's a hometown girl, home state girl. Speaking of Hispanics, dude, Reina Gonzalez.
No.
Presentation.
No.
6 foot tall. No. Attractive in chaps. Second generation.
I was not seeing any of that, man.
No.
And that was another match. I had no horse in the race for that one either, because I didn't know either one of them. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll see what this Reina chick can do. And I was not impressed, man. She seemed sloppy in the ring. I thought the gimmick was just kind of bland, actually.
There's one more woman that
ain't cliche. She's from Texas, and you're doing the fucking Zorro thing. Come on,
with the eye patch though.
No, didn't do anything for me.
The last one, as far as all around character, Kavita Devi. She's the first Indian woman that was trained by Great Khali. She had 80s wrestler written all over her, in the sense that she was that too. But more importantly, she was the taller one in her match. She never left off her feet. She used her size and her height as intimidation, and that's like old school, like Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, right. Like big man, but for woman. I think she played that character very well in her match. So that's the last one. As far as women that I noticed that got my attention, the fact that she was able to do that among like Piper Niven, and there was probably one other chick that wasn't your typical like hourglass shaped figure. I was glad that she was able to keep my attention the way she did, with not doing much, just like basic fundamentals that for big men wrestlers, and she made advantage of it, and I liked it. She's an example.
Of any of these women, she's an example of there's a diamond in the rough in there somewhere.
Yes.
I think she's green. In a part, I hate to say this, but there's in the back of my mind, I was getting the sense of this is just another piece of WWE's love affair with India right now. Yeah. That's the only reason
I agree.
She's in there. The best of the best of the women wrestling.
But to their credit, WWE did acknowledge that some of these women were not independently
the Chinese
specific.
Chick, Xia Li.
Dude, her like little 2-minute or 30-second like pose off before her match with the fan and everything.
But come on, never wrestled before? Come on.
She was from the China tryout.
Right.
Devi was from the India tryout.
Right.
Then they had somebody else from. There was another woman that was painstakingly beautiful until she started speaking in that Scottish accent. I forgot what her name was, but she was from a tryout overseas also. So these weren't just the best independent women. They were literally trotting out people that this was their first time wrestling.
And I think is
that a detriment?
Yeah, I think it is.
Is that because Shimmer couldn't give any more women?
Right. I mean,
I would have loved to have had the goth chick from Ring of Honor. What's her name?
Oh,
do you know who I'm talking about though, right?
Mandy Leon?
Yes! If she was in this tournament.
Oh, you're thinking
from the Women of Honor. Yeah. Mandy Leon.
I was thinking of Hendricks.
Oh, Taylor Hendricks?
Taylor Hendricks.
I think she's established herself enough on television.
But Mandy Leon, because she could actually, because I remember there's that one match with Mandy Leon, and I can't remember who she fought. But she had like a wolf gimmick type thing. But anyway, both of them could go.
Yeah. And
again, you're sacrificing people like that for like people who's never wrestled before, honestly. Yeah. And you have a performance center. You have a way of training these people. So if you're impressed enough with them to be in this tournament, take them off the tournament, put them in your performance center, and have them on NXT in a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever. But anyway, so far I'm enjoying the show.
One more thing. Cruiserweight Classic, the first round. Do you remember what the last match was?
No.
Ciampa against Gargano.
Oh yeah.
There was already the story was already there.
Right.
The crowd was in it from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. I appreciate them picking the best match for last, which was Kairi Sane against Tessa Blanchard. Because from the beginning, they knew who both of the girls were. There wasn't story between the two, but there was enough awareness of both of them to already have the crowd interested before the match started. And not only did it keep the crowd's interest, you can hear it rising. You can see the anticipation.
That was the main event for all three. All matches.
Yeah, the first tournament.
They did a good job on picking the best match last.
Yeah, for every episode, the last match was their picks were really good. But to close out the first round, this was like the last piece of chocolate cake after your buffet, and it was fucking delicious. So, just off the top of your head.
Well,
you have any 2 or 3 you think they can have long haul?
Yeah, I do.
In general, not just in the tournament, but if you see them, see them flourishing in the
so
WWE
regardless
banner.
if they've won or lost so far, Jazzy Gabbert, Toni Storm, Lacey Evans, maybe even Piper Niven, and then Shayna.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, you want that reputation.
Yeah,
the 4 horsewomen. So yeah, Shayna Baszler is a given. Piper Niven again because her difference. Jazzy Gabbert.
It's funny I didn't say Tessa or Rachel, but them two, I think
they're that example of Kenny Omega in the sense that they don't need WWE to be successful.
Same thing with Santana.
The same thing with Santana Garrett. So if I see them at a Wrestle Circus, or if they show up at Women of Honor, or if I see them in Japan, good for them. WWE no longer is the only place for you to get a decent paycheck, and just because you don't make it there doesn't mean you're a failure. So Rachel E. Can't wait to see her in Austin. Tessa, we'll probably see her down the road, maybe again in Texas when she comes back to town. Yeah. Santana Garrett, if I ever end up in Florida again, I wouldn't mind catching her somewhere else.
She looked good too.
Oh yeah, Jazzy Gabbert, Baszler, Piper Niven. Right now, those are my 3 where I'm thinking. Oh, and Carrie Sane.
What do you think of her? What do you think of Carrie Sane? I don't think we talked really. I mean, I didn't really like the gimmick, but I mean, wrestling wise, that elbow drop, that
wicked.
Yeah.
No, I again. The Rock is just as cool, if not better, because of the People's Elbow. Mm-hmm. John Cena, his popularity, 5-knuckle shuffle, that's awesome. Kairi Sane, my first impression when I saw her literally walk the plank for her, I was like, dude, that's money, man.
Yeah.
Like, little kids are... Dude, 6 months from now, if she ends up on WWE television, you're going to see little kids walking around in front of the arena, walking the plank just like she...
They can sell pirate hats.
Oh, dude. She's the next Bailey without even knowing it.
The fucking...
The compass.
Yeah, she get the pendant. They can sell that as a pendant.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
it's
dude.
money.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Whew.
But I'm enjoying it so far. It's something that I can watch with my wife. She's invested in it. She's like, again, the Lacey Evans and Toni Storm match.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be good.
That's gonna be a nail biter. Because they're both some really good talent. And but hopefully, I don't know what WWE plans on doing. But
Rachel Ellering against Abby Lath in the second round is a match that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
That's it for the women, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's all womened out as far as the whole tournament. Hope you know what? For all the complaining that I did that 4 episodes were too much, I was lucky to have seen them because now I'm looking forward to the next week's episodes. If that means I'm not watching SmackDown or if that means I'm not watching Raw, guess what? Even now, I'm saying it again. There's too much fucking WWE programming in a week. So if that means...
you don't have to watch it.
No, I'm not. I don't have to watch all of it, which means I might not have to watch all of Raw or SmackDown because the Raw we still have 4 weeks of build before Raw's pay-per-view. SmackDown doesn't even have a pay-per-view in September.
Dude, you watch Raw with me. How long does it take us to watch Raw?
40 minutes.
Thank you.
I really just come for Dragon Ball Super. Yeah. SmackDown. The only thing of note for SmackDown is the return of Shelton Benjamin with Chad Gable. Looked just as good as I remembered him.
Yeah. No ring rust.
Yeah, no ring rust. Last week in the promo, Shelton's like, I don't know if I don't think I came here to team. So I don't know how long this is gonna last.
Yeah, and I can see in the match, like he didn't want to tag a couple of times, or there's some
foreshadowing.
Yeah, definitely. So, which I think Shelton versus Gable is gonna be good.
Oh yeah. Did we ever get Benjamin versus Charlie Haas in a feud?
Probably.
Because I don't remember.
That was a long time ago, man.
Yeah. But at least, dude, Gable has a lot more personality than Charlie Haas. Oh, fuck it. No disrespect to Haas, because his in-ring work was just as good.
Haas, he came out all dressed up as different wrestlers every week.
That was way after. That's not
the point. That's not the point. All right, what else?
And next week, we're getting Nakamura versus Randy Orton for #1 contender. Do you have a complaint that Raw and SmackDown are giving away all these pay-per-view quality matches for free on television?
No. There's no pay-per-view anymore.
Well, special event. They already got your $10, so it doesn't matter if you get it for free.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Say 600,000 people watch the pay-per-view as opposed to 3.4 million on Raw or SmackDown.
If it attracts more viewers, hey, whatever gets more attention to them. This particular week of SmackDown, they're gonna have to do whatever they can because they don't have a pay-per-view coming up anytime soon. So to me, this week felt like a filler show to me. So there's no real highlights for me for SmackDown. It can be a bit much. My only complaint with these big matches on TV is when it's the same matches week in, week out. That's when it becomes a problem for me. But if you want to give me Cena and Nakamura on SmackDown or Raw, sure, I'll take that. And it also depends on who's wrestling.
Yeah.
If it's okay, so we're gonna have Nakamura and Randy Orton for #1 contender. Okay, who's gonna win that one? I wonder. Yeah. It's just things like that. I guess it all kind of depends on the situation, but.
Yeah, before WrestleMania, we got Orton and AJ Styles, first time ever on SmackDown, just because.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. I still go back to it was before Great Balls of Fire, and Samoa Joe cut that badass promo. Really intense, and had that southern drawl when he said it, but when he said
live balls of fire
live on pay-per-view, when he said that, ooh, I got chills because it felt like almost old school at this point, like for someone to say pay-per-view, and they should kind of go back to using that terminology again. That it's not pay-per-view, but you technically have to pay for it, so why not call it pay-per-view?
One last thing. Dirty Heelz Ziggler. Do you even care anymore? Is that train already left the station? Ziggler's coming back as being a...
Ziggler? Fuck that guy. I mean, because I remember before he left, he was bitching and complaining, right? That was his whole gimmick, right? And then he comes back. I forgot about him, honestly. And then he came back last week or 2 weeks ago, and then this week. And he's doing the same thing. He's still bitching him on. I'm assuming he's going to come back and... he's gonna have some ridiculous, over the top gimmick. That's what I'm thinking. But I could be mistaken on that. But again, I'm not invested in Ziggler right now, anyways, so it doesn't really matter. It's up to them to change my mind, right?
Or if you buy a cricket phone.
It's like John Cena said. We're the voice. We're the ones that have all the choices, right?
We have the power.
Yeah.
We have the touch.
Oh. Yeah.
We have the power. Yeah. You're waiting for that, huh?
Yeah. It's not over till you do.
So I'm surprised this wasn't on Comedy Central. The roast of Roman Reigns.
Oh my good God!
This
is
Monday
our
Night
main
Raw.
event of the show, right?
Yeah. Okay. Before we get to that, then, thumbs up or thumbs down? Jeff Hardy, in this point of his career, is getting an Intercontinental title match.
It surprised me
Against The Miz.
I thought for sure Jason Jordan was going to win it because they needed an excuse to have Jason Jordan versus Miz for the title without just handing it to him. And then Jeff Hardy wins it. I was like, okay. I was pleasantly surprised. And I think this might lead into a split between Jeff and Matt. Start off singles first and then do some kind of...
Break them.
Whatever you want to do.
Shatter them. Crack them.
Wake them up. Whatever you got to do.
Damage them.
Yeah. Whatever the legal...
Defile them.
Whatever the legalities are going to be to get around that shit.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to... I think this is what's leading to that.
Yeah.
I could be totally off. I don't know. But what else are they going to do with the tag team stuff?
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, that's... Yeah. Okay.
So we already mentioned Sasha losing the belt.
Right. Yeah.
We just talked about Jeff Hardy. The only other thing to talk about on Raw, worth mentioning, sweet Jesus. What's the first word that you thought of after that entire promo was finished?
Damn!
Exactly! Yes, that's exactly. I was like,
Can I get a goddamn?
I posted on my Facebook page. I was like that. I was literally screaming at Cena at the TV like The Simpsons. Stop! He's already dead. And that was not to get jokes. That was not to try to be a smartass. That legitimately halfway through, I was slamming the arm of my couch, screaming at Cena, "Enough!" And then I thought to myself, you know what would have really brought the dagger home? And I was praying to God, Allah, whatever anybody believes in, Buddha. I was praying, please say this phrase: 16 title reigns, 0 failed drug tests. That's all I was waiting for, to literally put the last nail in the coffin and throw him out to sea and start throwing those arrows on fire and burn that carcass to the ground. Holy fuck!
I've seen pipe bombs. I've seen work shoots. This was ridiculous. I don't even know. I don't know. Seriously, backstage, I don't know how much this was scripted or how much was y'all two go out there and say whatever the fuck y'all got to say. I don't know what happened to lead up to this, but I like it, what I was seeing. And obviously they were catering to the hardcore fans in this.
You know what? You know how? Because for people that don't really understand, or people that are in the hardcore wrestling community, I'm going to break it to you in case you didn't already know. We're idiots. We're stupid.
Right.
We're cavemen. We're the lowest common denominator of scum. And what triggers us are phrases,
yes,
are words. So when you're 13 years old, I remember being a parent that one time in band camp, and I had a little 13-year-old come up to me and said, "There was a student in my class that said the word bitch."
I don't know if any of that got that on audio, but
dude,
bitch.
As soon as you say punk ass bitch or shovel or heel turn, you have our undivided attention. If we were getting blowjobs, we would tell the girls to get the fuck out of the way because I'm watching John Cena burn the fuck out of Roman Reigns. That's how hardcore this was.
I think I even heard the Mortal Kombat guy say fatality. I think I heard him say finish him.
There was no friendship in this one, bro.
Finish him.
That's a heroic brutality right there, man. I'm telling you. And he hit the nail right on the head. Some people cheer Cena, some people boo him, but god damn it, we respect him. Yeah. We straight up fucking boo Roman Reigns because exactly of why Cena said. He is a generic parade dollar brand Walmart version of John Cena. And the fact that he closed it out by saying, "I'm here because you can't do your job." Oh!
fatality. Dude, okay, all right, okay. Let's roll this back for a second. It was your normal promo starting up, and then Cena said something, and then Roman came back and he paused. He said, first of all, blah, 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 and then he stopped. Was that on purpose, or was that scripted?
Oh, I think that was...
Because that was a long pause. He was looking dazed.
I think that was a moment where if me, Popeye the Sailor, as far as language goes, is on live national television in front of millions, knowing that there's kids that are still buying my merch and I don't want that fundage to stop, that I need to stop what I'm saying to make sure that a 4-letter word doesn't come out in this moment. Because I think Roman wanted to just...
So you think this was legit?
I think that was legit. And the fact that Cena was like right on it and said, all right, no problem, find the words. This is how a promo works.
Oh, fuck! Take your time. Dude, this was the most important promo of Romo's life, and he fucked it up. Like, maybe. If he didn't fuck it up, if that was a planned pause, give that man an Oscar because he played that out.
This isn't Roman fucking up. You know, I mentioned this a couple of times on the show, even with you, that there's been moments in the last couple, like year or year and a half, where I'm like, you know what? I'm not booing Cena anymore.
Right.
I'm cheering this guy.
Yeah.
He's been doing good. He's had great matches with AJ Styles. His promo work's been doing better. The U.S. Open Challenge. If anybody hadn't gotten on that boat yet and rode that boat off the coast to Happy Land, people are now. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think I heard anyone boo after Cena finished that off. Even when he was pointing to the crowd and saying, listen, this is real. They're actually he didn't say this, but they were actually completely pro Cena. I can't remember the last time I saw an arena that was pro Cena. It was probably before his first title reign.
I know. That promo with Vicky Guerrero.
Oh. Dude. Yeah, if Cena were to retire tomorrow, he's retiring a full-fledged face. Nobody's hating this guy. He just completely skewered Roman.
Yeah. Whatever we say about this thing can't top what Cena actually said.
Oh, my God. I think my comment of 16 title reigns, no drug tests kind of is on par.
He should have said
He should have said that. Or maybe he's saving it for next week. Oh, my God.
Could you imagine if this promo happened in Brooklyn or... Here's the thing with
Mexican wrestling tradition, whenever there's a good match, people throw money in the ring. I would have aimed for the face and hit Cena with my wallet. I was like, take all the money. Boom! Like, God, fuck.
Okay, good point right there. No, you brought it up. If you didn't have a network, if this was live on pay-per-view, would they have your money for this match?
Ooh.
That's the whole point of this. Okay. That's the whole point of this promo.
Okay, so they do.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
However, is it because of backstage news that we're getting this match now? Because the pay-per-view, No Mercy, is in Staples Center, Los Angeles, 4 weeks away. Hell, if another hurricane comes, I might have to evacuate to L.A. just in time for this match. You're already headlining it with Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. I'm not sure this pay-per-view needed this match right now. They have my money, yes. They could have got more money at Survivor Series. Hell, they could have gotten more money at WrestleMania. But we're getting it for the first time at No Mercy.
Yeah.
In front of LA, because apparently we can't get this in Corpus Christi or in Macon, Georgia, or wherever.
Right.
So they're getting it, but damn, they could have done a better job of getting more.
Especially with Brock and Braun in the main event.
Brock and Braun sells itself.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
If you ask me about that, if you ask that same question to me about Brock, do they have your money? Yeah, they got my money for Brock and Braun.
But here's the telling sign. As much investment emotionally that I have, whether good or bad, in Roman or Cena, if you're telling me right now which match am I more looking forward to at No Mercy, I'm looking more forward to Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. You don't necessarily need this right now. You could have saved this for later, but it's in LA and you want to make sure your LA card's stacked from top to bottom. So maybe you do it here. Maybe there's shit going on that we don't know.
Right.
That somebody needs to be put in check or in death. I'm pretty sure next week on the Walking Dead, special guest Roman Reigns as himself as a fucking zombie because he just got killed. So Do they have my money? Fuck yeah. If they could have waited, they would have probably got a lot more.
Yeah. I agree.
You know?
But man, hey, I'm not going to be here for prediction shows or anything, but Brock versus Braun, I think Braun's going to win. And listen, Braun's going to win, and Heyman's turning on Brock, and we now have Braun as the Heyman guy. Brock face turn, just like Survivor Series way back when
With Big Show?
But because now you have the reason Heyman's with Brock is because Brock can't talk. Braun can talk, but now with Heyman, even more so. Like and Braun's more the future than what Brock is, and that's my prediction right here. Got it for free.
4 weeks early.
Yes. Now watch next week they'll change it to like a triple threat match or some shit or something.
Yeah, man. Dude, this is the first time in a long time where months May through September are just as good as November to May. Because usually build up to WrestleMania season, you're fucking golden. And then after that, summer, you test stuff to see if it sticks.
Well, we had the summer Punk, we had the summer Bryan. Now we had the summer of the heavyweights. That's what I like to call this one.
Yeah.
The summer of the heavyweights. Is that good? Yeah. Okay.
Sponsored by Arby's. They have the meats. Sweats.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. You say Arby's, you got my attention. All right. But that's it for the promo, man. I can't think of anything else to say that's gonna compliment what happened, what we saw.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just showcased. I don't know if that was the intent, but I don't know. It showcased how much Roman isn't ready to be the guy, the top dog or whatever the fuck he's calling himself.
Yeah, from the second Cena said that he took the U.S. title as a demotion, dude. Yeah, I don't know what you do with Reigns, to be honest. He's a polarizing figure. He's not as polarizing as Cena because he's getting the same reaction. He's getting booed. Yeah. Poor kids aren't loud enough to cheer for Roman because you can't hear him because of all the fucking boos.
And it's a shame it's based off merch sales because...
Is it safe to say that wrestling fans in general have already gotten over the fact that Daniel Bryan wasn't the next guy? This is something completely different. This isn't Daniel Bryan anymore.
No.
We hate Roman Reigns for a lot more different shit than just Daniel Bryan. That's like an afterthought, right, Brian? Afterthought?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Because, good Lord.
The only thing I can summarize that whole promo with Cena and Roman's is 2 words. Suffering succotash.
Oh, Lord.
That's your problem with Roman right there.
If there's one thing that you should do with Roman, you need to turn him heel. And here's why. The whole kerfuffle with Cena, if you were to turn... Cena gets cheered by the kids and gets booed by the adults.
Right.
You turn Cena heel, he's going to get booed by the kids, but he's going to get cheered by the adults because the adults want thugonomics. The adults want a Cena heel turn. Hell, he even said it in his promo.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns right now is getting booed regardless if he were to save somebody from Hurricane Harvey right now. So if you turn him heel, I'm not going to start cheering him. I'm going to fucking boo him even more.
Yeah.
Because it's not because of a character. He's just blah. For whatever reason. If you turn him heel, you're going to get the reaction that you're supposed to get out of the character that you're giving him.
It's not working with him trying to be a face when it's bad enough where he's getting boos, and then when you see him come out, he looks like a heel. Like he looks like a villain. Yeah. And you can say the same thing about Stone Cold Steve Austin, but here's the thing. Stone Cold Steve Austin started off as a heel. Mm-hmm. He never really changed his character other than drinking beer. That's what got him over.
Yeah.
And
he dished the $1 million belt. He traded the belt for a cooler beer.
Yeah. And that's what got him over. But he was a heel for a long time, up until WrestleMania 14. That's when he turned...
Since the Attitude Era, your strongest faces were heels in the beginning. Yeah. Steve Austin.
Right.
The Rock.
Right.
If you want to go a little bit more to this generation... Before Daniel Bryan's yesing, that was a whole lot of knowing.
John Cena,
Dr. Thugonomics.
Everybody started off as a heel to have everybody get their boos out of the way. And
Randy Orton wasn't truly solidified either way until he joined Evolution.
Yeah,
and from there you knew he was a bad guy. So
you got to get that out of your system.
Does it count that Roman was in the Shield as a heel?
Because he was a part of his system right there. He wasn't an individually sanctioned heel as a wrestler. Does that make any sense? I don't know, but no, he never. Wrestling fans have to get that release of booing off of, and the wrestler has to showcase a reason to get those reactions, and he hasn't.
Not to mention, as a heel, he needs to incite louder reactions. He needs to egg it on more so that we can get it all out of our system.
And all he's doing is enticing the fans of booing him even more by getting on the mic and calling him out for booing him. Well, yeah, you're going to get more boos.
Or reminding him that he got rid of The Undertaker, which we still weren't ready to get rid of.
That's not a fact.
That's not something a good guy would say.
No, yeah. He seems like joyful that he was able to retire The Undertaker.
Did you ever hear Shawn Michaels brag about retiring Ric Flair after he retired?
Was remorseful.
He was remorseful, yeah. And that even, not only that, it actually sympathized him in his feud against Batista afterwards. Yeah. So this thing with Roman,
it's a failed experiment, and they need to get on the ball and do something with that.
Speaking of Roman, Pro Wrestling Index top 500 for this year, your boy Roman is number 4. You think that's warranted? Here's your top 10. The Miz at number 10. Bobby Roode.
This is PW Insider?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bobby Roode, number 9. Dean Ambrose, number 8. Samoa Joe, number 7. Nakamura Shinsuke, number 6. Kenny Omega at 5. Roman Reigns. Kevin Owens at 3. AJ Styles, number 2. Okada Kazuchika, Oregato, Goei Kazamazu, number 1. You agree with this list?
I like the names on the list, but maybe not that order. But that's just me, because again, going back, I've been a casual fan for a while now. So Okada, I haven't seen him in a while. Kenny Omega, I know I've seen the matches that everybody's seen, but like, what are they doing with them? Like, what else is there to him besides that? I mean, I don't know what this match. What is this listing going off of? Because having Kenny Omega in the same list as The Miz and
in the last 12 months, popularity wise, match quality, promos, longevity, and it's weird because
I would think Omega would be higher up in that list than that.
Not only that, quality over quantity. My superstar of the year right now, at least for WWE, is actually Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I think you're talking about
Brock Lesnar was probably one of the most sought-after guys that people wanted to see in the Royal Rumble match. Got eliminated by Goldberg in a sneeze. His 8-minute match at WrestleMania was fucking awesome. Who expected the match that we got between Lesnar and Samoa Joe at Great Balls? His main event right here at Brooklyn, the 4-way. Dude, he actually cut a fucking promo on Raw. He took the mic from Heyman and everybody was like,
he gasped.
Like, you didn't hear cheers, you didn't hear boos, you heard a gasp. Like, holy fuck, that guy's actually gonna say something. That felt like Sting's first words after they didn't give him the belt and he told Hogan, "You're a dead man."
Yeah.
That's how I felt when I saw Lesnar grab the mic. He just said, again, the word of the day, Suplex City, bitch. And everybody's like, oh fuck, okay. So I would actually have Lesnar at least in the top 5 of this.
Oh, yeah.
My top 3, I actually would keep Okada number 1.
Number 1.
His feud with Omega throughout the 3 matches he's had so far this year. But, dude, he had a sick match with Katsuyori Shibata. Damn near killed Shibata with his nasty headbutts and shit. His matches during the tournament with Minoru Suzuki. Dude, he's had some great matches overall. His match with Cody Rhodes, the G1 special here in California a couple of months ago.
Okay.
So I've
heard what you're talking about, and I haven't seen what you're talking about.
And Japan's relevance is coming up to the point where it's kind of really competing as far as a wrestling talk with WWE. So
is it though?
Who's been
you're seeing it through hardcore wrestling lenses.
It's a come up. You have 2 main event champions on Raw and they flip flop, like Kevin Owens, and then he lost it to Goldberg, and then Goldberg lost it to Lesnar, and then on SmackDown you had AJ lose it to you had Orton, and then Orton lost it to Bray, and then Bray won it.
Right.
And then Bray lost it to Orton, and then Orton lost it to Jinder, and so there's been a lot of pass around. And and Okada for the most part has been consistent. He's been champ. So I would keep Okada number 1. I would probably put I would keep AJ Styles number 2 because his matches these last 12 months have been fucking awesome, dude. Every match he's in, starting with SummerSlam with John Cena last year, all of his
Styles
matches
definitely top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Styles.
So I've got Okada, Styles for number 3. I would probably have maybe Lesnar. Quality over quantity.
Wow.
I would have Lesnar number 3. Yeah.
And you know what? To carry on to your point right there, I think this might sound kind of silly, I guess, but this is my opinion. Fuck you. With him, hear me out here. With him as the Universal Champion, I think he is defining the Universal Championship. I think he's making it. I think he's
giving it prestige.
There you go. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, yeah. He's with him. He's giving it legitimacy. That's what I'm looking for. The legitimacy of that title.
Owens didn't do it. I would have loved to see what Finn Balor could have done with it. Because of his history being on the road and his popularity with the general audience, especially coming over from the draft from NXT, I think he would have done a good job of giving it legitimacy, not to the point of former UFC champion, former WWE champion Brock Lesnar, but he would have done a better job than Kevin Owens and for the cup of coffee that Goldberg had it. Yeah. But I agree, Lesnar's been giving it some relevance. Yeah. Because from the beginning, it's like, that's the belt, that's the heavyweight title that's got on a period. Who cares about that belt? We always said that.
It's to the point now where title matches are starting to mean something on Raw again. And that wasn't the case with Owens.
I agree. So this was posted a little while ago, the Pro Wrestling Insider Index or whatever, the top 10. Right. We had some replies on it already. Robert Medlin, putting Reigns and KO before Omega, that's heat-seeking. I agree with that completely. And Braun needs to replace Dean. I'd also go as far as saying Ricochet, Prince Puma, over Bobby Roode.
I would say most improved would be Braun Strowman.
Yes.
A year ago, where was he at? Now,
we were supposed to get Lesnar Strowman a year ago.
And we were laughing.
And we were supposed to get it at Great Balls, and still that as much as I would have liked to have seen it, there was still a lot of meat on that Roman bone for those two to keep going, and I'm glad they kept going with it. Now, everybody wants it now. Everybody wants Braun now. And if he wins the title against Lesnar, regardless of who turns or what, it's time. And I wouldn't mind it. I'd be just as curious to see what Braun does. I'm probably sure he's going to eat half the belt. Jim Keel, I would put Omega at number 2 and move Ambrose to the top 20, not the top 10. Mark Deska, solid list though. I might put Strowman at number 9 or number 10 and drop Bobby Roode. Daryl Hughes, I would drop Ambrose and Reigns and put Strowman at number 8 and move Omega to number 3. So Okada, Styles, and Omega. 2 out of 3 from the Bullet Club. You know what? To be honest, now that I'm looking back at this list, I would probably drop. It's easy to say drop Reigns. I would have Reigns lower, but I would have Reigns above, or maybe one rung below, Cody Rhodes. Ring of Honor champion, doing damage at Bullet Club, title match again with Okada at G1 Special. I'd have Cody Rhodes on this list.
I'm kind of surprised he's not on the list already.
If you have Braun as your most improved, that's my follow-up. Second place, most improved is Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Or most repackaged, or whatever you want to call it, you know?
The Nightmare. The American Nightmare. Yeah.
Well, hey, we're looking on our Facebook stuff, and you mentioned earlier about using the word bitch.
Bitch!
They stole that from us.
Yeah.
After we stole that from Briscoe.
Yeah.
No, my boy Jeremy on Facebook, he asked, totally off subject, but why is the WWE now using bitch like they just learned the word? They sound like little elementary kids that just learn how to cuss.
I think that goes back to what I mentioned earlier, where it's like stuff for hardcore audience. And I think Brock Lesnar, even though he's hugely over with Suplex City, that's a guy that is... I actually think Brock Lesnar is a hardcore audience wrestler because we've known him for so long, because he transcended WWE, not just by trying out for the Minnesota Vikings, but actually going into UFC.
No, I agree.
So
Brock's more of an adult.
He caters more to the hardcore audience.
Or the adult audience.
Yeah, the adult audience. So whenever you want to get an adult's attention, you drop heel turn, you drop punk-ass bitch, you drop stuff that people would know, that hardcore from the independent wrestling community would know, to be like, oh, that's for me. You know, so we got that with Brock, we got that with Roman.
And plus, to answer his question, it's another factor is it's PG, so that's all they can do pretty much. Bitch and ass. That's all they can say. Anyway.
I think that's a show, my man. You know, we cut so much stuff out of this show so that we can do this in like 45 minutes, an hour, and in typical Houston Wrestling Radio fashion, nothing ever goes as planned.
That's what happens when we start talking. There's just two of us, man. Damn.
Yeah. But you know what? I had to take advantage of you while you were here, man. It's not every day that we get you back on the airwaves for wrestling purposes. You know, always fun to do pop culture stuff. But you, if wisdom comes with age, out of the entire Houston wrestling radio familia, you are the wisest. So I want to try to suck as much juice out of that fruit as I can.
Well, I mean,
pickle Trav over here. Shit. And on that. That's the show, my man.
Yeah, well, it's been fun. I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Toodles or
I'm not stealing anybody's catchphrase. That's the end of the show. Next week, hopefully, weather permitting, if another tropical storm doesn't come over, we'll go to our usual 3-man booth at the apartment down by the river, by the way.
That place.
Up over yonder.
Yeah.
Pop culture. We've got a couple of things coming up. Maybe. We're still debating whether we do Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's Iron Man 3, Thor 2, Captain America 2.
We're about to do an episode on this. You better
Guardians of the Galaxy.
You better be asking me.
Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers: Age of Ultron.
And
Ant-Man.
There you go.
Yeah. Or. With Hurricane Harvey coming around the bend, we do natural disaster movies.
Oh,
you know?
Oh, you just come up with that. That's great.
Yeah, you came up with it. No, I came up with summer blockbusters to go over some of the movies because I'm surprised I've seen as many movies as I have. You know?
Yeah. All two of them.
Hey, $7 with luxury seats. You know what I'm talking about, player.
Man, I got hooked on those luxury seats. God damn it.
You're welcome. Toodles.
Pop your culture. Can I say that here?
You just did.
Okay, yeah. It's been fun, y'all. Gotta go. All right. Get out of my house. There you go.
That was pretty good. Yeah. It's like maybe you should do it every other Wednesday.
Man, you're really trying to get me going with this, aren't you?
Oh, you don't see the Compass name badge? I'm selling you, man. I'm trying to sell you.
Trying to help sell me
You need that gap coverage?
Loan and
that gap coverage?
Extra interest.
That auto bill pay for the 1%.
Man, I was one gap short of my goal to get a payout, and this fucking Harvey came through, and I was out the last week of the month. God. Damn you, Harvey!
Dude, I got 3 days off this week.
Yeah.
Paid.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
To be in prison in my own house.
I know. I'm waiting for the next hurricane to come through. That way I can plan in advance so I can have enough food, water, alcohol, and some disaster movies to keep me through.
Yeah, there you go. Or a podcast that talk about disaster movies.
There you go.
There you go.
Let's get out of here.